Hey, what's up? This is Carlos from Hybrid Records, and I'm here to talk to you today about turntables. Coming up. All right, so it's that time of year where a lot of people are looking to buy their first turntable, or they're looking to upgrade their turntable, or they're looking to do one of those things for somebody else. A lot of times people come in the shop and they ask me about turntables. Why is this one more expensive than the other? What's a good one? What's a bad one? And so I thought it would be good to make a video as a resource where we can kind of pack in some of the most important things to look for and think about when you're making a turntable purchase in an easily accessed and digestible way. So that's what we're going to do. And in order to do that, we're going to be looking at two different turntables and comparing them. The first being the Audio-Technica LP60, fan favorite, tried and true, a lot of bang for your buck, very great starter turntable. We're also going to be looking at the OG, the godfather of all turntables, the Technics 1200 MK2. We're going to get started from the ground up. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the base of the turntable, often referred to as the plinth, in some cases at least. These can be made out of a lot of different things, plastic, like in the case of the LP60, or some kind of metal, like in the case of the Technics 1200. It holds all the components of the turntable. What else do you need to know? Next, we're going to look at the platter. This is pretty obvious as well. The record sits on top of it. The platter spins, the record spins. That's how that works. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the drive system, which is an incredibly important thing to consider and to think about when making a decision on what turntable is right for you. There are two types of drive systems, belt drive and direct drive. They're fairly self-explanatory, but we'll go through it very briefly. In the case of the LP60, this is a belt-driven turntable. The motor is connected to the platter via a belt, and that's what makes the platter spin. Now, this has advantages and disadvantages just like anything else. The speed accuracy might not be as precise as something like a direct drive, but you're not going to pick up a bunch of hum and resonance from the motor itself. Slightly quieter, more isolated in that way. And so for home listening, this is perfect. You're not going to get a lot of that unwanted resonance and low frequencies. And you're probably also not going to notice the slight little variations in speed. For my money, a belt drive turntable is all you need at home. So what is a direct drive turntable then? This is a turntable where the motor is directly driving the platter. Incredibly precise as far as speed goes. That reduces variations in pitch and things like that. This is obviously a good thing. But as I said before, in belt-driven turntables, the variation isn't something you're really going to notice. However, if that is something that is very, very important to you and you feel like you need to know that it is spinning at the exact speed that it's supposed to, then a direct drive turntable is probably what's going to be best for you. Next, we're going to look at the tone arm. You can see on the LP60, it's a very simple tone arm design, straight arm. The cartridge is built into that design, so you cannot change it. You can replace the stylus. And then if you go to the back end of it, away on the opposite end of where the stylus is, there is a counterweight there, and this basically is what affects how heavy the stylus is going to track, basically how much force the needle or the stylus is putting on the record that is playing. We'll talk more about this when we look at the Technics 1200, which, as you can see, has a slightly different tone arm design. It's what we call an S-shaped tone arm, so it has a bit of a curve to it. This is to help the needle sit precisely in the groove the way that it's supposed to, right in the center of it. This is also what we call a universal tone arm, which essentially means the tone arm will take any head shell. It can be popped on and off in seconds. Why is this important? It's not necessarily important, but it is convenient, and it does make it really easy for you to be able to upgrade or change the cartridge that you were running on your system. This is obviously a very added bonus that you can switch this easily, that you can upgrade it easily. Just because the LP60 is a belt-driven turntable that doesn't have a tone arm like this doesn't mean that all belt-driven turntables are like that. A lot of more high-end even in the $200 range, have universal tone arms where you can change these things and very easily. A lot of those turntables also have a counterweight, which you can see on the Technics 1200, an adjustable counterweight specifically, I should specify. So here we have an adjustable counterweight, which means that if you have a cartridge like an Ortophone Red that has a suggested tracking weight of 1.75 to 2 grams, this adjustable counterweight allows you to balance your tone arm precisely so that you know your cartridge is running the tracking weight that it's supposed to. Now, why is this important? It means that you will greatly extend the life of not just your stylus and your cartridge, but of your records as well. Too much force down into the groove of your records can cause them to wear out faster than they need to, which means the sound will start to degrade and you'll have to replace that record at some point in time, much sooner than you should have to. Having an adjustable counterweight is basically just going to make it so that you can know that you are getting the absolute most and extending the life of your needle and your records to the fullest extent. And the last thing that I want to talk about is phono preamps. A lot of turntables these days, specifically Audio-Technica models, are coming with built-in phono preamps. A phono preamp allows the signal to come in stronger than it would without it, and so that you can listen to your records at whatever volume you want, whether that be quiet, whether that be medium, or whether you want to get it really loud. These are all of the things that you should be thinking about whenever you are deciding what turntable is right for you, what turntable you want to buy, because you don't want to buy a turntable and then 6 months later regret it and want to get something else. You want to get something that is going to last you for as long as you want it to last you. So being informed about all these different things is important so that you know you're making the right decision and you're spending your money wisely. All that being said, if you have any other questions or if there's something that I missed that you feel is important, please comment, ask away. I'd love to answer any of those questions or maybe make an amendment to this video to include some things that you feel like I left out so that this is the most comprehensive guide to turntable purchasing that it can be. Do all of the YouTube shit that people tell you to do, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, whatever. So until next time, we'll see you later.